In this lesson, we'll discuss in detail about the difference between normal flow and out-of-flow elements. First, we create 3 DIVs, 1 parent DIV and 2 child DIVs. We don't set the height to the parent DIV because at this moment both its child DIVs are in normal flow. Therefore, the 2 child DIVs will generate a height for the parent DIV. If we set a second DIV into absolute position, what do you think will happen? We'll take a look at the size of the parent DIV. Out-of-flow elements don't generate height for their parent DIV. Therefore, after we've converted the second DIV, the parent tag is now as tall as the first normal DIV. But the second absolute position DIV has not affected the location of the first normal flow DIV either. So let's switch the order. The parent DIV is now as tall as the second DIV. But we can see the second DIV is now displayed under the first one. The conclusion is, if you absolute a page element, it will fly in the air and give its original place to normal flow elements behind it. Remember, it's behind and not before. So the next question is, what if we absolute the 2 DIVs simultaneously? Well, our result has shown that we can see the parent DIV now has no height. This is what we expected. The second DIV is now flying on top of the first one. The conclusion is, for absolute positioned elements, new elements can fly on top of old ones. So the next question is, can we control how high absolute positions can fly? Can we put old contents on top of new ones? Yes we can. We use z-index to control how high absolute positioned elements fly. We set z-index of the first DIV to 999 and the second one to 9. After refreshing the page, we can see that the old DIV is now flying on top of the new one. If you assign absolute position to a child DIV, then this child DIV will no longer generate height for its parent DIV. When we are learning block tags, we've learnt that one of the most important characteristics of a block tag is that by default, a child block tag will be as wide as its parent tag. For example, if we create 2 DIVs, one being a parent DIV and one a child DIV, and we set a width and height to the parent DIV, but only set a height to the child DIV, we can see that the child DIV is as wide as its parent DIV. But what do you think will happen if we assign absolute position to the child DIV? Let's find out. Well, after we've assigned absolute position to the child DIV has disappeared. If we add some more text into the child DIV, the width of the child DIV will be the same as the text it wraps. This is another vital characteristic of out-of-flow elements. A child's block tag width will be decided by its contents, not by the parent tag.